service to Jan's Central. This train is formed of 3 carriages.
7.
Everybody, and welcome back to another video. It's me, BusTrain here. You currently join me on a class 385 because today we're going to be train spotting at Haymarket today, and it's the 2nd of January 2026. Happy 2026 everybody. Anyways, I am not travelling alone because we have our correspondent here, Michael. Say hello.
No.
And it's me here too as well. I'm just getting my words confused up, but I don't care because we're on our way to Haymarket to do some train spotting. Anyways, we will see you at Haymarket, guys. This train is formed of 7 carriages. Let's see its parts.
Calling at Slateford, Kingsnow, Westerhales, Curryhill, Kirknewton, Livingston South, West Calder, Addywell, Breek, Falthouse, Shotts, Parkwood, Cleland, Parkfin, Hollytown, Bells Hill, Uddingston and Glasgow Central. This train is formed of 6 carriages.
Okay, arriving in now will be a ScotRail service. I think it might be coming from somewhere, but I have no idea where. 158706. is at the rear, and there's that train arriving. Okay, arriving and now will be the 1329 ScotRail service. Whoa, that train gave me a fright. That's a service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. With 385101 there, 385112 there. That train gave me a big fright as I did not even know this train was coming. So yeah, sometimes I do have to get frights, sadly. Alright, passing by now will be a ScotRail service going to Haymarket Depot, forward for 170. The two 158s are already leaving. Well, it's 17404. And then that train goes from Edinburgh Waverley to Haymarket Depot. Now it goes away into the distance. Looks like this ScotRail Express service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley is about to leave. So will the 1329 ScotRail service to Glasgow Central from Edinburgh Waverley. But it looks like that train's leaving over there, as we have the Glasgow Queen Street train leaving here, and then the Glasgow Central train leaving over here. We have 35021 at the front. That's 385046 at the rear. And then there goes the other train off from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. What a hat trick of trains we saw at Haymarket Station just back there. Okay, about to arrive now will be the 1333 ScotRail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Aberdeen, formed of class 170 and a 158.
The train arriving at platform 2 is the 1333 service to Aberdeen. This train is formed of 5 carriages.
It's really weird how it's a 170 and a 158 on the Aberdeen route today. It's usually just a 170, but this time they're adding on a 158, probably just because the 170 is getting too busy in 2025. So in 2026 they're adding another 2 carriages on just for room. 17410 is at the front. I've not seen this unit in about 3 years, so I'm happy to see this unit again. Let's get a smashing picture of that. That is epic. There's that train arriving. Okay, about to depart now will be the 1333 ScotRail service to Aberdeen from Edinburgh Waverley, 174.10 and a 158 at the back. Off it goes. That train's probably so quiet is because it's the 2nd of January. Anyway, there goes that train off to Aberdeen from Edinburgh Waverley. Looks like we have another train coming through the tunnels. Where is it off to? I wonder. But it looks like it's a class 158 heading to Perth, maybe? No, it's a HST. That must be passing through from Edinburgh Waverley's Haymarket depot then. Here it comes. Or is it working a Perth service? I don't know where it's going. Yeah, it's going to Haymarket depot, maybe. But it might stop, I'm not sure. Anyways, that's that train. There are people waiting to get on it, so it might be going to Perth. Nice tone. But it might not be, but we're not sure. Yeah, it's going past the car stop marker. It's off to Haymarket depot, I think. But it might not be. Yeah, it's stopping. Right, off goes a HST, off from Edinburgh Waverley to Perth, calling it South Gyle, Edinburgh Gateway, Edinburgh Keithing, Dalgetty Bay, Aberdour, Burke Highlands, Kinghorn, Kirkcaldy, Market, Ladybag and Perth, I think. I got that wrong. That train's off to Inverness for some strange reason on platform 2. Why is it not on platform 4? Ah, it's because of that train coming there. It's working a service from Glasgow Central. Yeah, it's on a service from Glasgow Central to Edinburgh Waverley. No thank you, Billy Connolly. 385042. At 385014. Why did I think that service was going to Perth? It's going to Inverness, silly me.
What's the next stop for the Inverness train?
Stirling.
It's on the wrong track.
Yeah, because that train needed to cross over, that's why it was on platform 2. Off goes that service from Glasgow Central to Edinburgh Waverley. And it looks like we have 158 coming in, and this must be the Edinburgh to Perth service.
The train arriving at platform 2 is the 134102 Perth. This train is for double 4 carriages.
That's right, and we also have a Dunblane train arriving in.
Platform 4 is the 134102 Dunblane. This train is for double
7 carriages. This is the 7 car that we're on, the same one. 385116 was at the front, but it was at the rear on our service. Wait, why is that train going to Dundee? Oh yeah, they've changed the timetables. I have no idea why it says Dundee on there. Yeah, it should be going to Perth. Why does it say Dundee on there? Everybody's so confused now, and so am I. The board says Perth, so that means this train is going to Perth. They must have changed the sign to the wrong one. Anyways, there goes this train to Dunblane from Edinburgh Waverley, 385116 and 385-0, which is at the front. Also goes 158729 and another 158 off to Perth at the same time. 385029, which I forgot about, was at the front. There goes 158729 and another one off to Perth and not to Dundee. Nice tone. that train off to Perth. 158734 is at the rear. Could that service be going to Dundee but just going via Perth and then calling it Invergowrie and Dundee after that? I have no idea, but you can just tell me in the comments down below, guys, if this video is out on time. Slay! We have 334006 and another 334 coming from Bathgate to Edinburgh Waverley on the 1343 service, which I'm very excited to see because I haven't seen the Pride 334006 in ages. We also have a 170 arriving in from Perth to Edinburgh Waverley, I think. 334017's first, and then it should be 334006 at the rear. 17402's there. And there is 334006. Now, there's the Pride. Taken about 1 million pictures of that because that train is just so amazing. And there are those two trains arriving. Looks like we have another train arriving which should be going off to Leven. No, it's not. It should be going to Cowdenbeath, or it's a passing service. But let's see. It's the HST going to pass to Haymarket Depot from Edinburgh Waverley. We also have another Helensburgh Central train arriving. They're now seeing the fast train approaching for that HST. Looks like we can get an amazing picture of 4 trains in the station. There. 334029's there. And there goes the HST, which looks like it will be stopping because there's a red signal, as usual, that happens sometimes at Haymarket. 43144 is at the front, but it looks like it's on its way now. It looks like the signal's red, but it's still going through just because that sign is turned white. So that means this train is allowed to go through. And off goes this train to Helensburgh Central from Edinburgh Waverley. And off goes that train. Right behind me we have 17402 about to leave from Perth to Edinburgh Waverley, I think. Okay, arriving in and out is another 7-car class 385 coming from Dunblane to Edinburgh Waverley. I think all of the trains are 7 carriages between Edinburgh Waverley and Dunblane today. So that's quite special because you don't usually get that every day. 385124 is at the front. And 385022 is at the rear. Okay, off goes 17402 finally, because it's been in the station for about 5 minutes, and finally it's on its way now to Edinburgh Waverley from Perth. And also over here we have the 1349 ScotRail Express service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glasgow Queen Street. That has just stopped over there, but we might say that a part of this train gets out on time at 13:48, which it should be right now. But the guard is just putting the wheelchair ramp on, so there must be a wheelchair getting off then. You don't usually see that all the time on ScotRail, but at least it's very good, and the conductors are very strong to put these ramps in place for the wheelchairs. Off goes the 1349 ScotRail service to Glasgow Queen Street from Edinburgh Waverley, as you can see through that window. Sadly, we could get to see it, but it's because of a ramp. Finally, the 1348 ScotRail service from Dunblane to Edinburgh Waverley is leaving. 385124 and 385022. As you can see, it says delayed up there by 4 minutes. Actually 6 minutes. And off goes that train. Okay, arriving in now will be the 1355 ScotRail service from Helensburgh Central to Edinburgh Waverley, formed of 2 class 334s, 334039s at the front. .035 is at the rear. And there's that train just arriving there. Right, off goes the 1355 ScotRail service from Helensburgh Central to Edinburgh Waverley, 334039 and 334035. And off that train goes away into the distance. I've just had to do a very important phone call. Anyways, 385103 and 385121 have arrived from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley. Also arriving, we have a 2-car 158 from Leven to Edinburgh Waverley, I think. 158 708. This was the same train I got to go to Dunfermline City. That train is absolutely rammed. That's surprising for the 2nd of January. Alright, off goes 385103 and 385121 on a service from Glasgow Queen Street to Edinburgh Waverley, run by ScotRail Express. As you can see, the Express logo and to the main ScotRail logo if this train is working ScotRail services. Oh no, here we go again. It's the 1403 ScotRail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Dundee, formed of a 170 and a 158. Again, this is always used to be a 3-car 170 and now it's 5 carriages. 17396 is at the front. I have not seen this unit in about 8 months. So I'm happy to see trains that I like to see when I don't used to see often. Arriving in now will be the 1413 Avanti West Coast service from Lockerbie to Edinburgh Waverley. That train is pretty early actually, which I'm pretty surprised by because it's only about 1402, 1403 now, and this train's not meant to leave till 1413. It's 390 117, nice way from the driver. And again, this service is from Lockerbie to Edinburgh Waverley due to improvement works probably. So yeah, that's why the train is terminating at Lockerbie and it will be on its way out. But we'll be seeing another 390, not this one, but another 390 as they're putting quite a few 390s on. This is Blue Peter. Yes, Blue Peter is this 390, and I know that Blue Peter is a CBBC programme, which I also sometimes watch actually, so I'm a pretty good fan of Blue Peter. And again, this train cannot fit the platform as we have 17396 and a 158 leaving to Dundee from Edinburgh Waverley, so I'm just going to walk up here to see it. Can I see the 158 rear? No, I can't. I think it's 158-738. I managed to see it. Oh, hello. Do we have a 170 coming in from Dundee to Edinburgh Waverley? Oh my God, it's 6 carriages. That is so rare. That is literally so rare to see. But, well, it's the 2nd of January. You get to see loads of special services, don't you? Alright, so departing out now is the very early 14:30 Avanti West Coast service from Lockerbie to Edinburgh Waverley. 39117 as I am walking along the platform, and the interlock lights have gone off. And off goes that train. And there's 17413 at the back of that unit from Dundee to Waverley, I think. I don't know what's at the front. Anyway, there goes that train. Okay, arriving in now is the 1407 ScotRail service to Dunblane from Edinburgh Waverley.
What was it last year? Hiya, pals.
It was Hiya Buttons in that
Hiya
pantomime
Buttons.
last year. I can remember going to the pantomime. But you don't have to tell me, we go literally every year.
I love the pantomime, it's great.
Well, that's good for you.
So I think it's brilliant.
It is brilliant. 385022 again, as this is a 7-car service yet again. And there's that train arriving beautifully. Okay, off goes the 1407 ScotRail service to Dunblane from Edinburgh Waverley. 4385022 and 385124. That service will be calling at Edinburgh Park, Linlithgow, Palmont, Falkirk, Graveston, Camelin, Larbert, Stirling, Bridgewellan and Dunblane. And there goes that train away into the distance. Okay, arriving in now will be the 1412 ScotRail service to Hellsborough Central from Edinburgh Waverley. It's again 334006 and 012. Oh, I can't remember. I'll just remember when I see it. And there's the beautiful, pretty 334006 again. So that's epic to see this. Taking loads of photos because I love this unit so much. About to depart now will be 334006 and another 334 on the 1412 ScotRail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Hellsborough Central. The beautiful Pride, which I'm always falling in love with. Sad. I miss 334006. Whoa, I miss it so much. Oh, I miss 334006. I'm so sad. But nothing to be sad about. We have a 158 arriving in. Yay! And it's off to Leven with 2 cabbages. Okay, off goes the 1412 ScotRail service to Leven from Edinburgh Waverley, going via Aberdour. It's 158702 again. Goes that train away into the distance, calling at all stations apart from South Gyle. I can see a 385 waiting down there, so there must be a train coming from the Wester Hales line. There is meant to be a Transpennine Express passing by, going to Glasgow Central, strangely, calling it at Carstairs, strangely, Motherwell and Glasgow Central, but it's not stopping here, so that's quite strange. We do have a fast train on platform 3, so it might be a Transpennine Express class 802, but you never know. But I think it might be if there's a fast train just now. Yes, it's a Transpennine Express 802 coming from Glasgow Central to Edinburgh Waverley. We had a nice tone there. It's really strange to see this passing by. 802 205. And there goes that train away into the distance, with its next stop being Edinburgh Waverley. What a strange thing to see this train going by. Very strange. Alright, arriving now is 170-452 on a ScotRail service from Leaving to Edinburgh Waverley, I think, or Dundee, who knows. But anyways, there that train is arriving. I'm just going to walk inside the station building just to get some heat, as my hands are ice as blocks because I forgot my gloves. We just saw a few trains there. I just had to make my way through the crowds as 385 121 and 385 103 arrived on a service from Edinburgh Waverley to Glasgow Queen Street, and there was another 7 car from Dunblane to Edinburgh Waverley. So yeah, we're just gonna go up here for some heat, and we will see you in a little bit. A train to Lockerbie and a very busy Edinburgh service. Very strange announcement. The 1426 service to Lockerbie. This train is for Duff 11 carriages. So strange. But we'll see that train arriving in just a minute. Ah, I know what's wrong. It's a 4-car 158. That's why that train is so busy. Oh, that's really weird on an Inverness to Waverley service, isn't it? But it looks like the Avanti West Coast service from Edinburgh Waverley to Lockerbie will be arriving in just a minute. So I'm going to trot my way over here, just in case it arrives unexpectedly. Oh yeah, there it comes. Perfect timing. So funny. There's 158711 and another 158 down there, and I can see through the windows that that train is absolutely rammed. Because usually it's a 170 at the front, but this time it's a 158. There must be something wrong with the 170, or it's just 2nd of January tradition. Okay, about to depart now will be the 1426 Avanti West Coast service from Edinburgh Waverley to Lockerbie. 40390 117. No, it's not 117, it's a different 390, as I made a mistake due to Lockerbie works, probably, because I actually think there's works going on between Lockerbie and Carlisle, so that's why. But it looks like this train is leaving first. I'm just gonna walk over here quickly to see it. Which side will I go? I'll go this side. And off goes that train. And now we have to now head to the other side to see the 158711 and another 158 leave to Edinburgh Waverley from Inverness. It's really strange to see a 4-car 158 working Inverness to Waverley. It'd be even worse if it was on Aberdeen to Waverley. That would be surprising. Yeah, I can see every single seat at that window is taken from here. 158703 is at the rear. And off that train goes away into the tunnels to its last stop, Edinburgh Waverley. Okay, arriving in now is the 1438 ScotRail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Dunblane, which is found of 385028. And a 385-1 at the rear, which I've already forgotten the number of, silly me, but there's that train arriving anyway. Off goes this train to Dunblane from Edinburgh Waverley, 385020, not 028, 020. 385122 is at the rear. Sounds. Okay, arriving in now will be the 1444 ScotRail service from Edinburgh Waverley to Hillsborough Central. This will be our train to take us back to Edinburgh Park.
The train arriving at platform 4 is the 1444 service to Hillsborough Central. The train is formed of 6 carriages.
334018 is at the front, and we'll get the rear at Edinburgh Park.
This is Haymarket. We are now approaching Edinburgh Park. Change here for the tram link to Edinburgh Airport. Please mind the gap when alighting from this train.
Okay guys, we are about to get off this train at Edinburgh Park. As you can see, we are now arriving right now. And we have now stopped. Welcome back to Edinburgh Park. As you can see, that 7-car 385 from Dunblane to Waverley cannot fit onto the platform, as this platform is only used for 6-carriage trains. Anyways, it's time to say goodbye to this 334, as the doors are about to close in just a wee minute. So the train must be early then. Oh, there's the doors closing now. Bye bye 334, I'll miss you. And off goes that train to Hillsborough Central from Edinburgh Waverley. Edinburgh Waverley to Hillsborough Central, or to Hillsborough Central from Edinburgh Waverley. I have no idea how I said that. Bye bye 334. I love you! I do love the 334s, and I'm sad when these trains are going to retire. So I've probably got about 2 more years of this train service, so I need to make the most of it while I can. Anyways, I need to end the video now, so thank you so much for watching. Really did you hope enjoy? Like and subscribe, comments down below. But anyways, see you later guys, goodbye!